Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. He is live. He is live after his week break. I am back, guys. I am back. It's a little late here. A little late. This is like a random stream. I didn't really announce this or anything, so this should be interesting. Let's pull up comments on my end. We've also got to let the Discord know that we are live. Guys, I'm on the ball today. I'm on the ball. I've even got the music going. I've got the music going before the stream. We're good. Alright, let's let the Discord know. Um, what's up, Abel? How you doing, dude? Welcome. Welcome, welcome. How's everybody doing? It's good to be back, dude. Sometimes I just need those breaks, you know? Sometimes I just need those breaks. Sometimes I just got to take a step back and focus on things, and sometimes we all just need that step back, right? You know what I mean? So, I hope you guys understand. Hope you guys understand. What's up, Sean? Hey, hello. Welcome to the stream. How you doing? Andrea. We need to notify the Discord at least one more time. There we go. This is going to be a good one today, guys. This is going to be a good one. And you know what we're going to do? Okay, what we're going to do is this. We are going to find something to go with the theme of today's live stream, which is going to be negative intrusive thoughts are like internet trolls. Okay, this is a good analogy. In fact, it's one of my favorites. It's one of my absolute favorites. I love it. It's the best way to put this into perspective for people, right? So this is going to be a good stream, but we're going to find something to kind of go along with the point of today's stream, and I'll show you what I mean in just a second. What's up, DT? What's up, Sean? How you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. All right, let's see here. How's everybody doing today? How's everybody been? Hope everybody's been well. All right, here we go. Here's a good one. Okay, so the title of the stream, you guys, negative intrusive thoughts are like internet trolls. We're going to use this analogy today because, in my opinion, it's my favorite way to put this because it really does help put it into perspective for people. So that is going to be the point of today's stream. And now I've grabbed a little something from a little something from Google here. Here we go. This is the guy that we're going to be talking about today. This is the guy that we're going to be talking about today, right here over on the side. Hey, what's up, Jay? I see your comment. I don't know why the bot held it, but I do see it. Welcome back, Jay. Hopefully this stream will get you right back on track. All right, let's see here, guys. Let's see here, guys. Gonna go ahead and get rid of that music. We don't want to be talking over that the entire time. Let's see. We'll notify the. No, we've already done that twice. I don't want to bug anybody over on the Discord. I don't want to spam notifications. That's not cool. Let's see. Alright, guys, I see no reason why we can't go ahead and just jump right into this. Negative intrusive thoughts are like internet trolls. That is what we're going to be talking about today. And we see we've got this handsome fella right over here to the right of the chat right here that we're moving around. This is what I want you to picture your negative intrusive thoughts as, right? This is your negative intrusive thoughts, essentially. Is this handsome fella right here, okay? This handsome little fella right here. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Now, what is a negative intrusive thought? And why does it shake us up so much? Let's cover the basics first. Now, when you're in a tired nervous system, okay, and there's varying degrees of a tired nervous system. Maybe one day you're in a very tired nervous system. Maybe 2 weeks later you're not so much in a tired nervous system. Now, depending on the state of your nerves, okay, and when you're in the healing process, this can be a lot of ups and downs. So, depending on the state of your nerves any given day, this guy right here can cause problems, or he can cause small problems, or he can cause big problems, or he can cause no problems at all, and he can become very laughable. Now, that all depends on the current state of your tired nerves. So, there's one good reason not to be bluffed by this guy right here. That's one good reason not to be bluffed by that guy right there. Now, moving on. What do we do on those days where we are bluffed by that guy right there? And when I say bluffed, I mean more or less when our bodies are bluffed, right? When we're in that tired nervous system and we're experiencing some reaction towards that guy right there, which is your negative, intrusive thoughts. What do we do in those moments? Because it's very easy to get wrapped up. It's very easy to get caught up, okay, when that guy is playing off your tired nerves on whatever day, right? What do we do? Well, the first thing we need to do is we need to remember this analogy. And you don't have to go with this analogy if you don't want to, right? This is totally optional. This happens to just be one of my favorites. We can sit back and we can remember the analogy, okay? First and foremost, he's playing off my nerves. Secondly, it's just like an internet troll. Now, what do you do with an internet troll, guys? What's the best strategic route to take with an internet troll? They try to get on your nerves. They try to frustrate you. They try to upset you. They can say some very mean, hateful things. They can say all sorts of things. And their main goal is to get under your skin, right? And it might get under your skin a little bit, depending on the state of your nerves. It might get under your skin a lot. But what's the best thing you can do? What do you have control over? You may not have direct control, okay, over what your tired nerves and how they react to the internet troll, but you do have control over one thing, okay, and that's whether or not you feed the internet troll. So this guy right here, this handsome fella right here on the screen, this is your negative intrusive thoughts. And I know what some of you are probably thinking, this is a very childish way to put it, Wonder Bro, okay? But sometimes we need to go simple because the whole problem with anxiety is we're overthinking it. Now, this guy right here, he's getting on your nerves. He's trying to get under your skin, and you know that your main objective is to not feed him. How do you go about not feeding him? Okay, well, he's here. He's in your face. There's nothing you can do about the internet troll, right? They're there. They're in your face. They're trying to attack you verbally, right? But what can you do? What they want you to do, okay, what they want you to do is respond. What they want you to do is get involved. What they want you to do is start going, oh God, I wish you would leave me alone. I wish you'd go away. I wish you'd stop messing with me. Please just leave me alone. That's what they want you to do because an internet troll strives off of that reaction. They love that reaction. That is what their whole entire objective is. Correct? That is what their whole entire objective is to get that reaction from you. Okay, so this handsome fella right here, which we are calling your negative intrusive thoughts, he plays off the state of your nervous system, right? He plays off the state of your nervous system, okay? And the best way to get him to go away is to not give him what he wants, which is to not feed him, okay? So if he comes in, okay, and he starts making all these comments and he starts saying all these things to you, what does an internet troll want? They want you to get upset. They want you to get involved, okay? And it's okay if your nerves get upset. You can't really control that. That's called first fear. But what you can control is realizing that the troll is there, the troll is present, and he wants you involved. He wants you to get involved. He wants you to give him some sort of involvement, right? That is his main goal. That is his main objective. Okay. Now, at first, when you start to just accept his presence, there he is, he's in your head, he's talking all this nonsense. Maybe it's thoughts that you've heard before, maybe it's new ones, whatever. Maybe your nerves are extremely tired and they're playing off these thoughts. He's there. You're aware that he's there. And now you have that choice. Do I just let him burn himself up? Do I just let him talk all the nonsense he wants without me continuing the story? So there's that thought. I've got that thought in my head. Oh God, if I don't do this bad thing will happen. Or I've got this thought in my head. Oh gosh, this might be the end of me. Or oh gosh, this bad thing might happen. And they're irrational. They're intrusive. Okay. And they're playing off your nerves. Or maybe they're just worries in general, worries that you can't do anything about, right? Because if you could do something about it, you would have already done it. So he's there. He wants you to feed him. You know he wants you to feed him. So what I'm asking you to do, because you've tried to fight for so long, obviously that's not working. What I'm asking you to do is just let this handsome fella right here, let this handsome fella right here pop up when he wants to, because you can't control when he pops up, right? You can't control when he pops up. But what I'm asking you to do is just be aware of his presence and instead just keep living your life. Just come back out to the real world. He can still be up there. You're not trying to fight him. You're not trying to push him away. He can still be up there. Okay? He can still be up there talking all the nonsense that he wants to. He can still be up there talking all the nonsense that he wants to. Right? But you're just living life. You're just living life. And the moment that you notice that you're starting to feed this internet troll by fighting with him, by arguing with him, by trying to go, oh gosh, don't think I blah 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 blah, pull yourself back and just remember, okay, he can be there. I'm just going to live my life. I'm not going to feed the troll. Okay, and it's okay to remind yourself of that. There's nothing wrong with reminding yourself of that. It's a heck of a lot better than the alternative, which is fighting with these thoughts for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. You see how far that's gotten you? Not very far. Not very far. It doesn't get you very far at all. And I'm sure you know that if you're watching this right now. I'm sure you're very well aware of that if you are watching this right now, that gets you nowhere. Because if it got you anywhere, it would have already done its job, right? So, the next time you experience these worries that you can't do anything about, right? If you could, you already would have. The next time you experience these negative, intrusive, irrational thoughts, remember this guy. Remember this guy, and remember to remind yourself that he once fed. He once fed. And it's okay to remind yourself, I'm not going to feed this troll. I'm not going to feed this troll. He can be there. He'll eventually move on. If you don't feed him, he'll eventually move on. The same with real internet trolls. They will eventually move on. If they're not getting what they seek to accomplish, which is your reaction, your involvement, whatever you want to call it, eventually they get bored and they go and find somebody else to pick on, right? Because they're not getting what they want. Okay? So the same concept applies to this guy right here. The more you try to get involved with him, the more he goes, "Oh, I love it. I love it. Look at the reaction I'm getting. Look at the involvement I'm getting. I love it. I love it." So, for a long time, I tried to fight with every single freaking thought that would pop into my head, and all I did was cycle. Cycle, cycle, cycle. All I did was fight, fight, fight. All I did was get more and more drain, 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 stress, 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 stress. I never actually accomplished anything, right? Because in my mind, I told myself, well, if I don't figure these out, right, if I don't fight with these thoughts, then they're not going to leave me alone. But the opposite was true. The more I fed this handsome fella on the screen here, okay, the more I fed this handsome fella on the screen, the bigger he become. The more hungry he became because he loved what he was getting. He was getting fed and he loved it, right? And the same thing can be true for real life internet trolls, right? The more you debate with them, the more they like to try to trigger you. That's what they do. That's what they do. Okay? So understand this, guys. Understand this. When this handsome fella is popping up in your head, don't fall for the same illusion that I fell for, which is if I fight it tooth and nail, I'll get some relief. Because trust me, I fought tooth and nail, and not much relief was gained. If you could do something about these thoughts or these worries, you already would have come up with your solution and left it alone and moved on with your life. But obviously, that's not happening. So, what does that leave us with? That leaves us with one more option. If finding a solution and moving on with life is not an option, obviously these thoughts are stuck on repeat. And obviously they're just playing off the tired state of your nervous system. What is our next option? To eventually stop feeding this guy to the point where he starves himself out. To eventually stop feeding that guy to the point where he starves himself out. Now, again, how do you do that? That means just living life, noticing when he's there, and reminding yourself, yeah, that thought's there. I don't necessarily have to like it. It's not fun. It's not comfortable. But if I don't feed it and I just move on with my life, even if he wants to be up there saying whatever he's saying, yeah, I hear you, buddy. Okay? But I'm not feeding him and I'm just living my life. It's not necessarily fun. It's not necessarily comfortable. But I've fed him for so long, and how far did that get me? Right? Eventually, if I stop feeding him, he's going to lose his size. He's going to lose his oomph, right? He's going to lose his grip on you. Okay? And it's funny because 1 hour you can be so triggered by a negative intrusive thought. And if you stop feeding the troll by just living your life, and every time you go to fight with this guy and feed this guy, you simply pull yourself back in gently. You don't have to be hard on yourself. Gently and just, okay, there he is. I don't have to feed that. He can be there. He can say whatever he wants to say. I'm just doing my best to live my life. I'm not going to feed the troll. You can go from being so triggered by that same thought and then a couple hours later or a day later, a week later, not be triggered by that thought at all, right? And I've seen it happen myself so often. One minute this thought's really triggering me, and if I don't feed the troll, eventually throughout my day he starts to lose his grip. He starts to lose his grip, right? Because you're demonstrating to the brain by not feeding with him, just letting him be there, talking his nonsense. Yeah, buddy, I hear you, whatever, and just going on with your life to the best of your ability. You are demonstrating to the brain that this is not a real danger, that this thought is not a real danger, right? This thought is not a real danger. There's no need for the alarm. So, you know, you can experience relief rather quickly. And that doesn't mean to get discouraged if it takes time. But what I am saying is that the sooner you get started with just living your life and not feeding this internet troll, the sooner you'll start to feel better. Don't get caught up on perfection. Perfection is not required. Don't get caught up on, oh, I didn't do enough today or I fed the troll too much today. Blah, blah, blah. It's a practice, right? And if you're trying, that's what matters. So understand this, guys. This isn't about perfection. This isn't about every day's got to be a calm day, or else I'm a complete failure. No, it's on those days where that internet troll, that's what we're comparing it to. That troll in the mind wants to be fed. You're just accepting him. You're not fighting him. You're not trying to push him out. Oh God, don't think that. You're simply acknowledging his existence and not feeding him by living your life to the best of your ability, right? Doing things you would normally do. And the more you stop feeding this troll, okay, the sooner your brain starts to realize that you're not under any sort of real threat or attack, right? And this is where retraining and healing takes place. Now, again, guys, perfection is not required. Do not start beating yourselves up if you're not perfect, right? Throw that nonsense out the window. Just do your best with this. Continue living your life, right? All will become clear. Okay, so again, to wrap the point of this stream up, this internet troll here, sometimes he's very loud, sometimes he screams to the top of his lungs, sometimes he wants to be heard, and you're hearing him, and it's okay to hear him. That's acceptance. But at the same time, you're realizing that you fought with him for years and years and years, and it's not doing anything. So you're realizing that he's there. Maybe he's playing off your tired nerves and really triggering you that day, right? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Just don't feed them. Levi asked, but what if you have these thoughts very late at night when there's nothing to do? Well, again, Levi, it's not about perfection. It's not about, oh, I've got to cram all these activities into. It's simply don't feed them. You can be laying in bed and not feeding the internet troll. You can be laying in bed playing a mobile game or watching a movie or doing whatever it is you do, and maybe he's there and maybe he's screaming loud. You still don't have to feed him. You can simply remind yourself, there he is, I'm not going to feed him. He'll lose his grip eventually if I don't feed him, right? He'll lose his grip eventually. Maybe 30 minutes from now, I'll be laughing at the same thought that was triggering me a half hour ago, right? So when we say the two main keys and we say live your life, okay, behaviors help to demonstrate to the brain that there's no real danger. And plus, it gets your mind off of feeding this internet troll so much. But let's say there's not much for you to do. Let's say you've had a full productive day, but now it's bedtime. There's not much for you to do. Okay, that's fine. You can still choose not to feed the internet troll, right? You can still be aware of his presence. He's there, he's screaming, he's whatever. It's very tempting to feed him, but you've made the choice. Anytime I go to feed him, I'm just simply going to remind myself, I don't have to feed this guy. You are going to hear him. You are going to hear him. It's not about pushing him out. It's not about fighting him. He's going to be there. You can simply remind yourself, oh, yeah, keep talking, buddy. I'm not going to feed that, right? I'm not going to feed that. I don't have to feed that. I can accept that. He will lose his grip, right? So even if there's not much to do, even if you've had a full productive day and now you're laying in bed, you can still choose not to feed the troll in the head, right? You can, and this is not an act that you have to do with great force. This is something that you can do very gently. Simply remind yourself, yes, he's there. It's making me uncomfortable. But you know what? I've tried fighting for years. That obviously hasn't worked. I'm not going to feed this guy right here. And you could even picture him as this guy right here, this handsome fella right here on the screen, right? So, again, Levi, if you've had a full productive day, but now there's nothing to do because you're laying in bed, that's fine. You still don't have to feed the troll in the head. LNX says, I didn't know how to recover from bullying when we are sensitized. I'm not sure how old you are. I think you said you were 12. Dude, do not get caught up on these terms. You're not sensitized, right? You're not sensitized. I promise. At 12 years old, I'm not trying to say that you're not going through things. I'm simply saying don't get caught up on these terms and start worrying about these terms. Oh my gosh, maybe I'm sensitized. You're not. Don't worry about it, right? You simply have some things that you're going through. That's understandable. We all do. But I don't want you to get caught up on these terms at your age. Oh gosh, maybe I'm sensitized. Maybe throw all that out the window. Stop worrying about that, right? Throw all that out the window. Stop worrying about that, right? Okay, 15. Yeah, throw all that out the window, dude. I don't want, and this applies to anybody, not just you because of your age, but anybody in the chat. Don't get too caught up on terms. Oh, what if I'm this? What if I'm that? Blah, 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 blah. We simply use the term sensitized to mean that you have a tired body or mind, right? So don't get too caught up on terms because then you become identified with it. We want you to understand you don't have to get caught up on terms. Just take the advice, which is to live life and to not feed the internet trolls in the head, and run with it if you would like to do so, right? But don't get so caught up on terms that you're just, oh, what am I? What if I'm the, what if I'm, right? It doesn't help anybody. Okay, it doesn't help anybody. It's funny, my intrusive thoughts been disappearing because I don't care if they were there or not, or just having physical stuff now. My body is trying to protect me from something that doesn't exist. Yeah, so through healing, maybe you start to desensitize yourself to these thoughts because you stop feeding the internet troll, right? But you still got some healing to do in the body, and that explains the symptoms, and that's completely fine as long as you see them for what they are, right? What's up, Cassie? What's up, Excalibur? But yeah, LYNX, that applies to anybody, not just you because of your age, but anybody. I don't want anybody to get too caught up on these terms like sensitization. Just if you're going to use the advice, feel free to use it and run with it. Don't identify with all these terms and labels, right? It's not helping anybody. It's just another thing that you're sitting around worrying about, right? Feeding that troll. This handsome fella right here. So anyway, guys, I guess we're moving on into the post stream because I feel like that was a pretty solid mainstream. There's nothing really else for me to talk about as far as that point goes. It just helps sometimes if people can visualize their negative intrusive thoughts as this handsome fella right here and understand that this handsome fella once fed. He can be there, he can be shouting, and he might for a little while. That's fine. You can let him shout, but you're doing something else. You're living life, or maybe you're laying in bed playing a mobile game, or you're watching a movie, and you're just, you notice this guy. You're not in a struggle. There's nothing struggling, right? There's nothing struggling. There's nothing struggling. You're simply noticing the troll in your head and you're choosing not to feed him. There's no sort of struggle. There's no sort of trying to push out or anything or pull or fight, nothing like that. You're simply noticing and you're reminding yourself there's the troll, I'm just going to keep living, right? I don't care if it's there or whatever, right? And your nerves might be reacting to the thought and that's fine too. But you're still not feeding the troll. Sometimes he'll try to use your tired nerves, right? As a way for you to feed him. I hear the tip, but we got our handsome internet troll in front of him, so I could not see what it was. I guess it's too late to move him now. Who was that? Where's the notification? I'll find it in just a second. Let me finish my point real quick, though. Okay? Sometimes this guy right here, your negative intrusive thoughts, will try to use your tired nervous system as a means to get you to feed him. But understand, that's just your tired nerves. Right? Okay, let's see if I can actually find who that was. $25 tip. Thank you so much. Says thanks for everything. Really about 70% there. I feel much love. Hey, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the $25 tip. That was from K something. I'm gonna put it on screen so I don't butcher it. Thank you so much for the $25 tip. Mwah. I really appreciate it. K Harry, I think. I don't know, but you are our stream MVP. Let's get this guy out of here. We've made our point with this guy. So before we totally yeet him off the screen, here he is. Take one last good look at him. This is your negative intrusive thoughts. This is your anxiety. Okay, a lot of the same could be said for the physical symptoms. Don't feed the troll. Here he is. He's waving at you. Give him a wave goodbye. And if he wants to come back in 20 minutes, here he comes. Right there. Right there he is. You know what? Hey, I see you. You're allowed to be. Am I looking the right way? No, I'm not. I see you. You're allowed to be there if you want to be there, but I'm not feeding you. You can scream. You can play off my tired nerves. I'm just living my life to the best of my ability. I know I'm not perfect, but I'm not feeding you any longer, right? No sort of push, no sort of pull, no sort of fight. I'm just not feeding him any longer. So there you go, guys. Say goodbye to our friend. We'll name him Ralphie right here. This is Ralphie. Say goodbye to him. Thank you again for the $25 tip, Kay. I really, really appreciate it. Shout out to you. Let's get a hashtag in the chat. Hashtag right there. Oh, your tired body. Your tired body will probably feel affected by it, Levi. But that's like I said, he's trying to use your tired nerves, right? If your nerves weren't so tired, they wouldn't react so strongly to the thought. And that's fine too. That's fine too. The same can be said for the feelings. You're not feeding those are just their own little trolls too. You're not feeding any of it. You're just accepting I've got some anxiety symptoms. I've got this thought that's trying to get me to feed it. That's fine. I'm just living my life, right? I'm not feeding these trolls anymore, right? For the first time, I'm actually accepting them instead of fighting against them, and that's not always comfortable, Levi. So I know how it feels when you come into not feeding the troll. You think to yourself, well, this will be an exercise that's just going to take it all away, right? And that's a common mindset to have, but you got to understand that's an end result. That's something that happens slowly over time. It gets easier and easier and better, and maybe in 20 minutes this troll loses its grip, right? I don't know. But don't come into it with the mindset of if I stop feeding these trolls in my head, all my physical symptoms are just going to disappear, right? Because you still do have some tired nerves that might be bluffed from time to time, but you don't have to feed that either, right? Instead of waiting to feel better, I just went to my mom's and I'm thinking finally getting it. That's awesome. Congrats. Keep it up. All right, guys. We are.